Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to focus and learn and use correctly a very important Italian verb, which is the verb parlare, which means to speak and to talk. But there's a twist, because depending on the preposition we use, the meaning of the verb parlare changes. Now, you know that I love to focus on verbs, and I think it's really important to also focus on the conjugation of the verb. So before we dive into the different prepositions, we're going to do a little review of the verb conjugated at the present tense and also at the past, at passato prossimo. Why am I focusing on this? Because even if you're an advanced learner, it's always good to review what auxiliary verb we're going to use. And it's a good review and focus. And I'm going to prompt you to write sentences with both the present tense and the past tense. So review the verbs with me. Let's focus at the present tense. Say it with me. Io parlo. Tu parli. Lui, lei parla. Noi parliamo. Voi parlate. Loro parlano. Take this verb and create a sentence. I don't like to memorize things, but I think that creating sentences can help you to structure a conversation. So start with this verb. For example, io parlo italiano e francese. Io parlo con mia sorella ogni giorno. Voi parlate di calcio spesso. Create quick, easy sentences just to remember how this verb is conjugated. If you're ready for it, we can also look at the passato prossimo. You know that passato prossimo needs an auxiliary verb. So in this case, with the verb parlare, you're going to use avere. Okay, so your auxiliary verb is avere, and parlato is your past participle. Let's just review it together. Say it with me. Io ho parlato. Tu hai parlato. Lui, lei ha parlato. Noi abbiamo parlato. Voi avete parlato. Loro hanno parlato. Once again, I know I say this all the time, but it's so important. Take the verb at the passato prossimo and create a sentence. For example, ieri ho parlato con il mio professore. Yesterday, I spoke with my professor, my teacher, okay? Create something easy, it doesn't have to be complicated. Abbiamo parlato di un progetto importante. The more words you know, the more words you can add and create a more structured sentence with the correct verb and conjugation. Now, let's look at parlare with the prepositions. Let's start with parlare con. Parlare con means to talk with someone, okay? You're going to use this usually when you're having a conversation. So there's a conversation between people. Let's look at this example. Ho parlato con Marta al telefono. I talked with Marta on the phone. So we are having a conversation. There's a conversation with another person. Loro parlano con il medico. They talk to or they speak with the doctor. The doctor and these people are having a conversation. Okay, so parlare con is used when you're having a conversation. Little fun tip. You can also use the verb chiacchierare con. Chiacchierare con means to have a chat with. So it's a more informal way of saying basically to talk with someone, okay? Chiacchiero con le mie amiche. You can also have parlare di. Parlare di means to talk about something, okay? So you're going to focus on the topic of the conversation rather than the people that are having the conversation. Let's look at a couple of examples, and hey, you can write your own, okay? Just write them in the comments. Abbiamo parlato di film e serie TV. We talked about movies and TV shows. So I'm focusing on the topic. In this case, movies and TV shows. Hai mai parlato di calcio coi tuoi amici? Have you ever talked about soccer with your friends? Once again, I'm not focusing on who is speaking. I'm focusing on the topic of the conversation. You can also use preposition a. So you can have parlare a. Parlare a means to speak to someone. You're going to use this when you're addressing somebody also formally. Let's look at some examples. Il professore ha parlato agli studenti della nuova lezione. The teacher spoke to the students about the new lesson. Okay? Devi parlare a Gianni del problema. You need to talk to Gianni about the problem. You know, it's like you need to address the problem. So you are tackling the problem formally. Now, try to make your own sentences and write them in the comments. You know, I'm always stressing you out on this, but the more you are able to create sentences, the more you're going to be using them in real life. So if you write them, I will be more than happy to check them for you. If you thought this video was interesting, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and click the little bell for more notifications on when my Italian lessons are available. Subscribing to my channel is completely free for you and it really helps me. This was it for today. I will see you next week. Un bacio. Ciao.